Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos, DIY tutorials, budget videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I load a new video. Commenting, liking, and sharing this video on your favorite platform does help my channel grow and would be truly appreciated. Okay, so this is going to be definitely a little bit of a different video, and I want to start it off with, this is not me being the voice of doom or the sky is falling, Chicken Little kind of action, but I did want to talk about some of the things that's been going on here on YouTube regarding COPPA, and I'll put what that means on the screen while I'm doing the editing. And basically, as of January 1st, from what I've seen here on YouTube from other YouTubers and content creators, is you will need to designate your videos as being intended for children, and the definition of children, and I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, an FTC thing, or just a general thing, but the definition of children is any person under the age of 13. And so when you're loading videos here on YouTube, you need to designate whether it is intended for children or intended for adults. Now that seems pretty cut and dry, however, it isn't. So the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I've seen definitely people who are in the gaming community, and people who do toy reviews, and people who have family-based channels, because there is definitely some ramifications to marking your video as kid-friendly. But I've also seen Lolly here from the craft world on YouTube. She's done a video, and last night I saw a video from Junk Journal Ideas. It popped up on my home screen, and so I watched her video regarding this, and so I wanted to bring my perspective as someone who does planner and DIY tutorials, the occasional budget video, and the occasional Etsy video. So I wanted to bring that perspective to this. Now, the reason why I wanted to come and talk about this is a kind of twofold. Terry from Home with Feisty had left me a comment on one of my videos, I think the one today, regarding this whole issue. It's been on my radar for a while, and the reason why she wanted to pass it along to me, and thank you, Terry, is because of my little golden book journal videos. And so I'll talk about that, but I'll also talk about how this could potentially, and I don't know that it is, again, I'm not the voice of doom, I want to put it out there in context to how I'm going to be dealing with it, but I think it might also apply to planning channels, just anything, honestly, really, if I really think about it. So in regards to my little golden book journal videos, I've got 3 right now. I've got 2 where I do a read along, and I've got 1 where I show you how to make one using the disc system, because I am Team Happy Planner. And as of right now, I'm going to still mark them as not intended for children, because they're not. When I'm doing my flip throughs and the corresponding read along, I do the read along because it just makes more sense to, if I'm going to show you the journal, I might as well read the story to you while I'm at it. But it is definitely not intended for children. My channel is not intended for children. My analytics tell me that my base viewer is female, majority from the United States, and it ranges from the ages of 25 through 65, and the majority of those viewers are actually on the upper end of that spectrum. So again, I'm not a child channel, and I'm not gearing my videos or my content towards that, but I can see how a read along in a little golden book would be attractive to children, and that's what's important, because when you read through some of the stipulations of what's considered child-friendly content, there are 10 things. And 9 of the 10 things, for the majority of my videos, do not count. And then for the little golden book, one of them specifically would count, even though, again, there is no intention for it to be for children. And then one of them is a bit ambiguous, and that's the one that is really what is worrying me and concerning me regarding pretty much all of my other videos. So the one that I know that the little golden book videos would fall under would be if you use stories or poems or whatever geared for children. You know, regardless of what my intention is, it is a children's book ultimately. So come New Year's Eve, I'll be spending my New Year's Eve changing settings on some of my videos to intended for children. Because again, you have one of two choices. Either it is or it isn't. There is no gray area, which I think this falls under. So fine. Now what happens when you say that your video is intended for children, then I believe it can be monetized, but in a different way, and I don't have a lot of details because I haven't done it yet. But I do know that comments will be turned off. I do know you will not have the ability to share the video. You will not be able to have the ability to put it in a playlist. I don't think that others can share the video. I believe you will not get notification if a new video flagged with intended for children will pop up. I believe it still will be in your subscription feed. It's still relatively new. The whole marking your video intended for children or not started about last week. And so that was, it's the 20th now, so it started around the 15th of November, just depending on when you're watching this video. So for me, my little golden book journal videos are not, you know, they don't get a lot of views, but I do enjoy the comments. I do enjoy the comments just in general because I am able to interact with my viewers and they're able to interact with me, and I love that. So that would be a downfall. Now, I still plan to continue to do little golden book journal flip-throughs and read-alongs because it's a way for me to showcase it for the Etsy listing. So I actually have one of two options. I can say it's intended for children and keep the video public, or I can make it an unlisted video, and the only way that you can watch it if you happen to be in my Etsy shop. I mean, again, there are pros and cons for both of that, but I mean, that's pretty clear cut, at least for me. Now, I also do doodle videos. Again, not a lot. They don't get a lot of views, but I enjoy making them, so sporadically I'll put them on. Now that, again, and I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the clause that I think the doodle videos and maybe even planner videos might fall under is if the video might be attractive to children. And if I can find a good screenshot, I'll show you what those 10 things are. Again, the majority don't apply, but a doodle video could be attractive to children. If I make a very colorful thumbnail, that could be attractive to children. So, you know, come January 1st, do I flag that as intended for children, even though, again, my channel is not. For my craft channels, my DIY tutorials, do I need to mark those as intended for children, even though they are not? Again, I firmly believe I'm like a G-rated, family-friendly channel, but that doesn't mean that I am specifically targeting children. I'm not even targeting teenagers. You know, I'm an adult who is speaking to other adults. For the planner videos, however, so if, you know, depending on how much of a stickler that vague, attractive to children is scrutinized, then if I do a thumbnail that's stickers because I've just done a sticker haul, do I have to flag that one? If I do a layout with the Squad Girls, and I mean they're They're not intended for children. You know, sticker books aren't, but it is colorful. If I use any of the new brights or the pastels, if I use any of the academics, which is rainbow heavy, if I use unicorns, if I use anything Harry Potter, anything Hello Kitty, I mean, just anything that could be perhaps construed as child friendly, do I have to mark those videos as kid friendly? Because if you've been following me for any length of time, I've just recently become monetized, and this would be the 3rd month that I'm anticipating receiving YouTube income. I have no intentions of being a full-time YouTuber. I love what I do. This is actually work. So I love my career. I've been doing it for over 20 years. So for me, it's, how do I say? It's a concern. But right now, I'm still going to be doing the videos that I want to do. But if it comes to the point where it is so murky, and what's really scaring people, and you know, it's minute 11 and I'm just mentioning this, if the FTC, so okay, let me back up some more. There's been a law out there regarding protecting children and the privacy of children and whatnot. The whole COPPA thing is regarding that. And earlier this year, YouTube settled a lawsuit against them that they weren't protecting children. And so this is a ramification of that. So the Federal Trade Commission here in the United States is really going to be scrutinizing or cracking down on YouTube specifically as a platform that, I don't know if they're targeting children, but I mean, there's the whole gamut of things. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a expert or professional in this. I'm just sharing this as it is in context to me. So as of January 1st, there's going to be heightened scrutiny. And if you are construed or thought to be having made videos that are intended for children, or that were attractive to children, or fall under that blanket of the 10 things that are construed child-friendly, then you could be hit with a fine of upwards of $40,000 per video. And that's what people are freaking out about. And then YouTube would have some other ramifications where your channel can be deleted or demonetized or whatever, okay? So there are definitely some pretty big ramifications, and that's why there are so many people talking about it. So for me, come January 1st, there is a lot of murkiness on how I look at my channel. And I think my budget videos are fine. Now, I don't do budget videos like most people do. My views, my likes, my comments are nowhere near what some people in the budget video world get, and that's fine. I don't do what they do. I don't share everything. It makes sense to me. But my crafting videos, my planner videos, my little golden book videos, I mean, those are really all up in the air for me. So for me personally, as I mentioned, for the little golden book journal videos, I will be marking them as intended for children until, you know, otherwise instructed, because there is no disclaimer that I can put on my video that protects me from litigation. There is no disclaimer that I can put on my channel that protects me from YouTube. Because again, they're telling you right now, you can either mark it as intended for adults or mark it for intended for children. There is no gray area. For the doodle videos, I will be doing the same. I'll be marking them as intended for children. Again, I cannot stress enough that my channel is not intended for children. It's not a market for them. It's not anything. But, you know, in order to be able to keep my channel, that's what I'm going to be doing. Sorry about that. The lights in here are based on movement, and I wasn't moving. The lights are also kind of weird because there's no light coming in from outside, but whatever, we're gonna deal. For my other videos, I'm going to leave them as is. Again, I haven't seen anyone in the planner community specifically who has talked about this. So, you know, I'd love to know what you are going to do, because again, there is this broad spectrum of what is attractive to children. So there are people in the crafting community, there are people in the art community and the journaling community and the draw with me community. Because I mean, it isn't just a happy planner thing. If you do a thumbnail with really bright, fun stickers, is that considered attractive to children? Because if to a 2-year-old, probably not, but to a 12-year-old, yes, and that still falls in that spectrum of child. So, I mean, it is really up in the air for me. I will not be deleting my channel. I will not be deleting videos. And the video or the channel I mentioned a little earlier, Junk Journal Ideas, she actually deleted quite a few of her videos within the last few days because she just really wasn't sure. And I mean, who can afford getting hit with a lawsuit of a fine or a fine of upwards of $40,000 per video? I mean, I have over 400 videos up now. I mean, that would bankrupt me. So I want to be cautiously optimistic. I am not going to delete anything. I don't have backups to a lot of my videos because I record on my phone. So it gets to a point where it's too much data and I need to take it off. If I need to, I will just mark them all for intended for children. And again, that puts the videos pretty much dead in the water. If you can't get notifications, if you are not constantly going through your subscription feed to see that I've done anything, then it may get to a point where I'm just going to stop doing YouTube. That might be where this is heading, and this is where a lot of content creators are talking about, where do we delete our channels? Do we delete our videos? Do we change up what we're doing? This is my passion. This is what I love to do, and it's a little frustrating for me, and it's very worrying that I feel like I've finally found my voice. I finally found what I'm passionate about. I love the structure and the paperwork and the administrative stuff of my full-time job, but I love the creative outlet that YouTube has afforded me, as well as my Etsy shop. But it could get to a point where it is just not worth it sharing my passion if it really just can't get out there. Because again, the monetization side of it is helpful. If you have a YouTube channel, you know that it costs money. You know that it costs time. I've said this countless times before. I could get a part-time job and work a lot less hours and get a lot more money. And I could have been doing that for the last year, but this is something that I choose to do. And I want to be in compliance with YouTube rules. I want to be in compliance with the FTC. I want to make sure that children are protected, but YouTube isn't saying a lot. The FTC is still taking comments on this issue, and I will link all that information below if you're interested in going on there and leaving your thoughts, because as a content creator, this could directly affect you, again, depending on that broad spectrum of what's attractive to children. As a viewer, YouTube is free. I mean, sometimes you have to deal with the ads, but as a resource, you can see tutorials and plan with me's. You can see pretty much the world worth of videos for free. That may change because of things like this, where YouTube will become a paid for service again. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but there has to be something that can protect content creators, because YouTube isn't going to do that. If the FTC finds me with flags one of my videos, YouTube's not going to step in and be a liaison or an advocate for me, because basically they're clearing themselves with, well, they didn't mark it, so that's up to the content creator. Now, I am a firm believer of YouTube because of the free aspect. So I can share my passion. Anyone can share their passion here on the channel. It's just, if it becomes too difficult, if it becomes too cumbersome, and if, what I'm spending my time and money on can't reach my audience, then it might be time for me to just stop doing this. Now, that's a decision for the future. That certainly isn't a decision for now. And it's not like you can do this on any other platform, because I think because YouTube was struck with the fine, the FTC will definitely be scrutinizing them more. But it is a FTC issue. It is not a YouTube issue per se. They got slapped with the lawsuit, and now they're being looked at. So I don't know if this, it's not like you can transition to doing videos on Facebook or on Instagram, because eventually they're probably going to be rolled into this as well. It's a social media thing. It's protecting a children thing. It's protecting their privacy and their information and whatnot. It's about targeting ads and things like that. I mean, there's this whole thing that on the surface of it is a very good idea, but the functionality of it and the administration of it, that's what's scary. Okay, well, it's a long rant. Again, if you're still here, don't delete your channels. Don't delete your videos. Worst case, you can unlist them or make them private, but at least you have the content, so that if there is more information that comes out, if there are disclaimers that we can use that YouTube says will protect us in those gray areas for channels like mine, then at least you'd have the content, at least you'd have your analytics, at least you have your data. For the lady who deleted her videos, some of them have over 300,000 views. Now, when she deletes it, there's no way to recover it. And they give you this little pop-up saying, once you delete it, that's it, it's forever. And not only does she lose the views, but she loses the wealth of comments. She loses the wealth of interaction with her viewers. She loses all of the analytics on that particular video that really give content creators, like, are you doing a good job, or are people interested in this? And she lost that. She deleted videos that had 20,000, 40,000, 60,000 views because of fear. And there isn't a lot of guidance. It's like, well, do this or do the other, but then, make sure that you've read the things, because it's more than yes, it is, or no, it isn't. It's definitely more than that. All right, well, I start work soon. It's frustrating, and it's a little heartbreaking. I don't know what's going to happen with my channel, or what I'm going to be doing moving forward in 2020 for the rest of November and December. It's just going to be all systems ahead. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop what I've intended to put up as by way of content. 2020 though, I don't know. So if there is more information on this, then I will definitely pop on and do another video. Again, this is not the sky is falling, the world is ending, delete your channels, delete your videos, everyone get off the platform of YouTube. That isn't what this is at all. And that's not my intention as of right now, because even if I do stop just doing YouTube, I'm not going to delete it. I've put a lot of time and effort into this. But what I will do is just make them either all private or all enlisted. And then that way I can protect myself. Because I don't want to have to file for bankruptcy. I don't want to go to courts. I don't want any of that to happen, because I'm sharing my passion for what I do. All right, well, yet another video where I'm crying. So I'm going to end it here. Guys, thank you so much for following me on this journey. I will leave links to the FTC where you can leave comments. Please be very courteous and cordial. I mean, they're just really trying to protect children and follow the letter of the law. Please leave comments below of your thoughts about this. If you can share this video with others on the platform, just to get the awareness out there, because again, I haven't seen anyone in the planning community talk about this, and it may not affect us from the planning standpoint, but it's murky, and so it might, and I'd rather err on the side of caution and protect myself and and give information so that my fellow content creators in this community can protect themselves as well. All right, guys, well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.